Thank you, Concorla. Minister, social media can be used for good and it can be used for evil. But what I see social media for is, and even if I look at it even at the moment as an example, the WRC, the World Rally Championship, that we're looking for to come to Limerick. We can put that on social media. It reaches a couple of 100,000 people, and people can actually comment on different things and see it's a good thing because we're trying to get World Rally Championship here. Then you look at the time that I brought the truck in here to the Dáil, where we were looking at fuel prices, where people had transport networks. And
should be reminding us about that now.
Well, I done it according to the law of the house. No markings on the truck, and it was my only way of transport on the day. So I followed the rules of the house. Didn't break any rules. But what it did do was it showed some of your own TDs in your own parties that didn't realise the amount of taxes that you were taking on fuel. And this was in the house, and they were voting on things that they didn't understand. So social media actually taught them that as well. So we can use, the other thing that social media can do, Minister, it can hold you to account. You go on radio and you go on television and you say one thing and you come in here to the house and you vote the exact opposite. So you vote against your counties. So social media can actually get out the word to the people and tell them about what you're doing. That's what it can do. It can hold you to account. Then you look at the other side of it. And you can see that people are using social media for the wrong reasons. And I'll use a couple of examples. Somebody has an accident on the road and somebody's fatally injured. Somebody takes a viewing of that and puts that up online, and the family's not even known that. 100% should they be held to account? Yes. People put up pornography on? Yes. All those type of things. People that caused the issues here in Dublin and the rioting that went on here in Dublin, and they caused criminal damage to property and to business owners, and the harm that was done to the children, yes, those people should be held to account, 100%. Using social media for violence, 100% they should be held to account. But there is a lot of good out there that social media does, because if you look at it from the point of view of an independent and getting to get on the airwaves on television, we don't get it because is there part of the budget actually pays for RT's budget, isn't there? So favouritism comes to the likes of the TDs of getting on there and getting your... Also, for other social media outlets, you again fund it. So again, when you look at it from the point of view of people getting the voices out there, it holds you to account, because it means that we can get out the message and show people in this country what's actually really happening. You now have coming through the Dáil the hate speech. In other words, you're trying to stop anyone with any that wants a democratic debate with you. You're trying to stop this from being put out into a social media network. This is some of the stuff that you're trying to stop. That's not democratic, and it's not fair on anyone that wants to hear the real stories that are going on. We do have an awful lot of fraudulent stuff going on. We do have an awful lot of stuff that goes on social media that is not even accurate. Cut it out, 100%. But for the people in this country, they should be entitled to see the good stuff, the promotion stuff, and what we can see as in content of what happens. And sometimes actually you could make a film in here, because some of the stuff that you actually come up with here could actually be laughable if it was put out on social media. Minister, what we want here is the proper things put in place and proper regulations put in place for people that misuse media, that misuse it for hatred, that misuse it for violence, for misuse it for against children, for misusing on directly targeting people out of hatred that causes violence. That's what I am fully intent for. And hold those people to account. for people that are actually sharing stuff on social media, they should be held to account. But you have an awful lot of people then as well, and young children, that don't understand, by sharing something, they don't understand the content of it, and bullying that goes on within children. They don't realise until it hits home, until somebody actually suffers because of it. But that again can be brought back to a policy where you can actually limit the amount of media presence for people that need to be educated on it first. You see some children at the moment, at the age of 5 or 6 years of age, have phones. And they can actually enter all different types of social media networks. That's wrong. We need to make sure that people are educated. We need to make sure that people that do something and make a mistake, that it can be rectified. You have to look at that too. So what you need in the point of view of media, let's look after the people that have good stuff. Let's look after people that have proper democratic debates and highlight things that are wrong. And then what we need to do is anyone then outside of that, Minister, that have come along here and used it for the wrong reasons, 100% I'm against that. And if you look at things from people going out last night and they put up on social media that this person was in the US ambassadors and what they were doing out there, it's okay to go out and protest. Once it's peaceful protest, you don't harm anything, rather than what we saw in Dublin last week, which was horrible. People's lives put at risk, people's properties put at risk, and people, it was all instigated from a small minority of people, but by social media, they were able to gather very fast. You target the likes of that. Break down that. When you see something on that, you target it and you make sure. Otherwise, you're not only putting people at risk, you're putting the Gardaí at risk, you're putting all the frontline workers at risk. Why not concentrate on something like that and get that right first? On the people that create harm, hate. Concentrate on that first and make sure we cover that. But on the hate speech bill, you've got it wrong. You need to make sure that there is freedom of speech up to a certain amount, but when it comes down to organising crime, which I put that down, you need to make sure that that is built in properly for the protection of children and people going forward. Thank you.